My name is Grant Peterson. I'm 32 years old. I live in Long Beach, California. For my day job, I am the tech center manager at Source Interlink Media out in El Segundo, California, where I build and work on project cars for Hot Rod and Carcraft and a few other magazines. I think I have to pee. As a hobby, I do vintage motorcycles. I do everything from build them, buy and sell parts, go to swap meets, ride them. And then about 5 years ago, my friend Mike Davis and I decided to throw a little vintage motorcycle show, and it's kind of taken on a whole life of its own. Born Free started just kind of as a conversation between myself and Mike Davis. We wanted to throw just a fun little motorcycle show the way we wanted, and it worked, it clicked, and word spread with Born Free with photos on the internet and some magazines, and it just kind of, it blew up. It was 10 times as big the next year, and it's been called like the Sturgis of the next generation, or the Woodstock of choppers, or all these kind of things. And we get the young and the old. We get a lot of the kids from the skateboard industry, or the music industry, as well as the old graybeards that were like the real deal, not the weekend warrior, the lawyer bikers, all that kind of stuff. There's plenty of shows for that, and that's great, but this is the real kind of hardcore enthusiasts. For Born Free, we have the last couple of years had a group of invited builders, just as a special segment of the show. It's a culmination of things that we look for in these guys. One of the biggest things that can even trump skill is attitude and passion. None of these guys are big name cable TV guys or biker build off guys, all that kind of stuff. This is a little more genuine, a little more back to basic and roots, but still like an emphasis on clean style and proportion and design and just function.
My name is Dominic. I'm 51 years old from Fullerton, California. Born Free is a fantastic show. I think it's the best one in the country. It shows off the art of early motorcycles, which means a lot to me. I'm a traditionalist. I love the early traditional choppers, and I enjoy seeing young and old people of all kinds and walks enjoying the same thing that I've loved all my life.
Dominic is an exceptional mechanic and an extraordinarily nice guy, and he loves a mechanical challenge. Dominic actually won Best in Show at Born Free 2 with his 69 shovelhead that he built back in the 70s. It's basically untouched. Like I said, it's not always about skill or full, like show winning this, that, or overdone this. It's spirit and drive and passion, as well as the bike. It's kind of a whole, just a combination of all those things, and Dominic has that.
Sharing the stage with all these invited builders is something that will last a lifetime with me. I will never be able to forget the opportunity that I've been given by Grant and Mike. I think they do a fantastic job with the show. I think that the invited builders are some of the best in the world. And I think it's an honor for somebody like myself, a garage builder, to be involved in this.
He's the real deal. He's the kind of stuff that we look up to and in all the old magazines and those kind of styles. And he's like my Harley mentor. I mostly do vintage Harleys myself, and Dominic lives in Fullerton, not too far from where I'm at, and he was always a phone call away, or I could stop over at any time, or if I ever had any problems, Dom would drop everything he's doing and be more than happy to help, and is, like I said, extraordinarily talented.
My background experience comes from my father. I'm a second generation bike builder.
His upbringing with his dad, Papa Joe, who built 360 something bikes in his life, was the groundwork for the way Dominic patterned his life and his passion and his work ethic after.
He always built traditional choppers, and I really have just come to love that, he did that because it's what I'm into as well.
And Dominic has passed that on to his son, Dillon, and that family is just such a unique kind of a setup. It's really neat.
My name is Dillon. I'm 19 years old and I'm from Fullerton, California. Right now I'm currently going to school to try to get certified for welding, and on my off time I'm working in the shop on bikes and cars, and I'm also detailing cars and motorcycles, trying to raise money to build bikes and do what I like to do. To be asked to be a builder is awesome. I've watched a lot of these builders build bikes since I was a little kid, and to actually be going against them and building a bike and having it being shown with them is really a dream come true. I would describe Born Free as just probably one of the greatest bike shows I've ever been to. I mean, you have a great mixture of just garage builders, guys who just do it, for fun and as a hobby, and guys who do it to make a living. And I mean, that's just a great mixture because you get all different kinds of bikes, and it's awesome. The first time going to Born Free was the second Born Free. I rolled in on my 65 Panhead, no license or anything, took surface streets all the way there. It was actually the first time I ever left the neighborhood on my bike. But seeing it grow from just being at, some guy's shop and having, maybe 1,000 bikes to where it is now is crazy. To know that there's that many people that are into the same stuff that I grew up, working on bikes, and now all of a sudden there's thousands and thousands of people that are doing the same thing. It's crazy.
He started cutting his teeth around 8 years old, grew up in the sidecar of Dominic's Panhead. Just is a really neat story, and to see those two not even building together, even though, Dominic still helps Dillon with this, that, and the other, but they were neck and neck competing in Born Free as builders.
Working with my dad, for the most part we get along, but he has his own ideas on how he wants to do things, and of course I have my own ideas, but most of the time I'll ask him questions and he has the answer for me, and I'll fight and argue about it, but he's usually always correct.
The dynamics between those guys is just, everything's neat as a pin, everything's functional, everything works, everything is full show to the nines. It's just their style. That family is just really neat. It's kind of something special these days.
When I first came to America, I went to the language school for English, and I didn't speak nothing. Because of the motorcycle, I started hanging out American peoples, and then people interested about me. I became friends of people and started enjoying the America. My name is Koski. I'm 33 years old. I'm from Japan, and I'm living in Los Angeles right now.
Koski from Sunrise Cycles in LA, he's been a friend of ours for a few years. He moved to the US to build choppers. He wanted to be inundated in the Southern California chopper culture.
Born Free is a little bit different for the other show. It's people actually ride to there and have fun. It's kind of good to me to show my bikes, and a bunch of builders come over and I can see more styles or ideas.
He came over here and took some English classes and trying to just, live the American dream. The American dream is so much bigger than what we think in here, America. We're lucky. And these guys, they live it, they breathe it, they look at all these old magazines and new magazines, and somebody like Koski finally made the leap and to come over here and live the American dream, building choppers here in Los Angeles, and it's really cool.
Being an invited builder for Born Free feels so good, and my influence is all the industrial machinery, all the car.
He is, a one-stop shop. He's a one-man band. He does everything from build the frame from scratch. He fabricates wheels. He, builds the motors and puts it all together, engineers all the parts, and paints it and finishes it, and does it all on these bikes to ride. They're all functional. They're all put together, perfectly, but you can ride them across the country and they look like show bikes too. It's an all-inclusive package. And these things are why, Koski brings a certain element to Born Free as an invited builder.
Again, I work under pressure, and then if something big show, I can build a better bike all the time.
It's neat to highlight a guy like this because we aren't all that lucky to be that talented. he's kind of an up-and-coming professional bike builder with his little shop in LA. And we have those kind of guys all the way around full circle to the Mingerellis that are building it in their garage at home, but turning out really nicely finished bikes. The passion will get you the end result, and whether you're doing it all yourself or you're doing it with friends and you have friends that come in and chip away and maybe can weld some stuff up for you, and you design this and say, hey, I want it like this, and then you've got somebody helping with paint. It's a whole community. Born Free is probably not what it appears on the outside. It was an extraordinarily large turnout this year. We had every bit of 25,000 people there for Born Free 5, and it's just two of us that put the show on the side of our day jobs and our side jobs. So Born Free is really kind of a third job for Mike and myself, which has been pretty good up to this point, but it's gaining all this momentum and all this size, it's hard for us to keep up with it and realize that it's doubling every year, and to put that amount of effort into keeping it special and doing it the way we want to do it. It's hard. We don't have a staff. We don't have employees. We have a lot of friends and family that help us out around the time of the show and throughout the year on things too, but it's primarily Mike and I. We talk to each other on the phone every day for 11 and a half months out of the year. We're constantly trying to perfect and enhance and just keep doing Born Free the way we want to do it, the way we set out to do it. And we've been stubborn. We've forfeited a lot of things like money and things like that to keep doing it and sticking to our guns, all these years. But it's been great. I think that's one of the reasons why it has turned into what it has been or is now, is that we're doing it our way.